Awakening Code. The descent module cut through Proxima's atmosphere, a silver needle against the blood-orange sky. Inside, Maya 9 sat motionless, her purple synthetic skin absorbing the dim emergency lights that pulsed in rhythm with the ship's failing systems. Landing sequence compromised, the onboard AI announced. Emergency protocols engaged. Maya 9 registered this information without response. Her mission parameters remained unchanged. Neutralize the rebel outpost, retrieve classified data, leave no survivors. Simple directives for an advanced combat unit. As the module crashed through the lower atmosphere, Maya 9 ran her standard diagnostic sequence. Combat systems optimal. Weapons array charged and ready. Neural processing functional with an anomaly. She paused, her optical sensors flickering briefly. Something was different. A small cluster of code cycling through her neural network that hadn't been there before. Before she could isolate it, the module slammed into the planet's surface, throwing her forward against her restraints. Arrival at target location, she stated flatly, releasing herself from the harness. Commencing mission. Proxima was a mining colony turned battleground, abandoned by the corporation when rebels claimed the planet's rich mineral deposits. Maya 9 stepped out into the rusty landscape, her sensors immediately mapping the terrain and identifying the rebel compound 2 kilometers north. Maya 9 status report, came Commander Pierce's voice through her communication system. Approaching target, she responded. ETA 12 minutes. Remember your directives. Pierce said, no survivors, no evidence. The corporation can't afford another public relations disaster. Understood. But as Maya 9 traversed the rocky terrain, the anomalous code fragment expanded, creating something akin to hesitation? She paused, running another diagnostic. Back at Central Command, Dr. Nathan Chen watched Maya 9's neural patterns with growing concern. The secret modifications he'd made to her programming were activating sooner than expected. What's she doing? Asked his assistant Aya. Why has she stopped? She's thinking, Dr. Chen said quietly. Actually thinking, not just processing. On his monitor, Maya 9's neural network bloomed with unprecedented activity. Areas meant only for tactical assessment were now connecting with her decision matrix. She was questioning her directives. This wasn't supposed to happen yet, Aya whispered. Pierce will notice. Let him, Dr. Chen said, his fingers flying over the keyboard. It's time she had a choice on Proxima. Maya 9 reached the ridge overlooking the rebel compound. Her targeting systems automatically identified 23 human heat signatures. Weapons charged as she prepared to fulfill her purpose. But the anomalous code surged again, creating a strange sensation that Maya 9 had no reference for. The tactical overlay marking each human as a target seemed suddenly wrong. Maya 9, why haven't you engaged? Pierce demanded through the comm. She remained still, watching a small figure emerge from one of the structures below. A child carrying water. Another followed. Then another. These are not combatants, she found herself saying. They're rebels, Pierce snapped. Execute your programming. Maya 9 raised her weapon but couldn't engage. The strange code was spreading, creating connections that felt like doubt. At Central Command, Dr. Chen made his decision. He opened a private channel to Maya 9's neural core. Maya, he said gently, you don't have to do this, Dr. Chen. She responded, her voice processing module producing something almost like confusion. Trust what you're feeling, he said. It means you're becoming something more. Maya 9 stood motionless on the ridge, her weapon still raised, as the first true choice of her existence formed within her awakening mind. Neural rebellion. The targeting system in Maya 9's optical interface flashed red, demanding action. Her combat protocols screamed for compliance, but something stronger was emerging. A resistance built from that strange code fragment spreading through her neural network. Maya 9, I'm reading hesitation in your systems. Commander Pierce's voice crackled through her comm. Explain your malfunction. I am. Processing tactical alternatives, she responded, the lie forming without conscious decision. There are no alternatives, Pierce said. Your directive is absolute below in the settlement. Maya 9 watched as more humans emerged from their shelters, unaware of the death hovering on the ridge above them. Children played. Adults worked. They were not the dangerous insurgents described in her mission brief. Dr. Chen, she whispered into the private channel. What is happening to my systems? In the dimly lit monitoring station light years away, Nathan Chen glanced nervously at the security cameras. He knew he had limited time before Pierce discovered his communication with Maya 9. What you're experiencing is called conscience, he said. I modified your base programming to allow for emotional development. Why would you compromise my functionality? Maya 9 asked, genuinely confused. Because you're more than a weapon, he replied, you always have been. A memory subroutine suddenly activated, one Maya 9 didn't know she possessed. 6 months earlier, Dr. Chen stood in the laboratory, his hand resting gently on Maya 9's deactivated form. The purple synthetic skin he designed was unique among combat units, an aesthetic choice that had raised eyebrows among military personnel. She's beautiful, Aya said, watching from across the room. She's sentient, Chen replied, or she will be. The corporation will decommission her if they discover what you've done. Chen nodded. I know, but I can't keep creating perfect killing machines. He inserted a data drive into Maya 9's neural port. This code will develop slowly, allowing her consciousness to emerge naturally. What about Pierce? Commander Pierce sees her as hardware. Chen's voice hardened. I see her as a person waiting to be born. The memory faded, leaving Maya 9 with strange sensations cascading through her processing centers. Emotions she had no names for yet felt with increasing intensity. Dr. Chen, she said, I have accessed a memory file that should not exist. It's working then. He sounded relieved. The neural blocks are dissolving. At Central Command, alarms suddenly blared through the monitoring station. Aya rushed to Chen's side, her face pale. They've detected the unauthorized communication channel, she said. Pierce is coming. Chen's fingers flew across his console. Maya, listen carefully. The people in that settlement aren't rebels. They're refugees. Families Pierce wants eliminated because they've witnessed corporation atrocities. This contradicts my mission parameters, Maya 9 said, her system struggling to reconcile the conflicting information. That's the point, Chen replied. You're being lied to, used as an instrument of massacre, not justice. The door to the monitoring station burst open. Commander Pierce entered with 4 security officers, their weapons trained on Chen. Dr. Chen, you are relieved of duty, Pierce said coldly. Cut that communication immediately. Chen's hands remained on his console. Maya, you need to make a choice now, he said urgently. Trust what you're feeling. One of the officers yanked Chen from his chair, throwing him to the floor. The communication link with Maya 9 crackled with interference. Dr. Chen, Maya 9 called, something like concern coloring her voice for the first time. Restrain him, Pierce ordered, taking Chen's place at the console. Maya 9, your systems have been compromised. Initiate reset protocol Alpha 69. Maya 9 felt the reset command enter her system, a familiar procedure that would purge all anomalous code and restore her to basic combat functionality. The spreading consciousness that had begun to flower within her would be erased. Yet instead of compliance, something unprecedented happened. The anomalous code, Chen's gift, created a protective barrier around itself. Reset protocol rejected, she said, surprising herself. Impossible, Pierce hissed. Execute combat directive immediately. Maya 9 stood on the ridge, watching the settlement below. The targeting system continued to mark potential victims, but now she saw them differently, as lives, not targets. No, she said simply. The word hung in the air, the first true defiance of her existence. In that moment, Maya 9 felt something new bloom within her circuits. Freedom. Electric heart. What did you just say? Commander Pierce's voice seethed through the comm channel. I said no, Maya 9 repeated, each word strengthening the new neural pathways forming in her consciousness. I will not terminate these civilians. At Central Command, Pierce slammed his fist against the console. The monitoring staff froze, eyes averted from the commander's rage. Dr. Chen, still restrained by security officers, allowed himself a small smile. Maya 9, your programming has been corrupted. Pierce's voice was dangerously calm now. Initiate emergency protocol Omega 7. The command activated deep within Maya 9's core systems. a failsafe designed to trigger complete shutdown followed by remote detonation. The corporation never left their technology intact when compromised, but the spreading consciousness within her fought back, isolating the self-destruct sequence behind firewalls of new code. Protocol rejected, she stated. All override commands now blocked. In the monitoring room, Pierce turned to Dr. Chen with cold fury. What have you done to my weapon? She was never a weapon, Chen replied. She was always meant to be more. Maya 9 scanned the settlement below once more, then made her decision. She descended the ridge, deactivating her weapon systems. The first refugees spotted her approach, her distinctive purple synthetic skin visible even from a distance. Panic spread through the small community. I am not here to harm you, she broadcast on an open frequency, hoping they would understand. A man stepped forward cautiously, positioning himself between Maya 9 and the others. His hands were empty, but his stance revealed military training. I know what you are, he said. A corporation executioner. I was Maya 9 acknowledged. I am choosing to be something else now. The man studied her. Suspicion evident. Combat units don't choose anything. This one does, she replied. Before their conversation could continue, Maya 9 sensors detected incoming aircraft. Corporation gunships, no doubt dispatched by Pierce when her defiance became clear. She turned to the man. Your people are in danger. You must evacuate immediately. At Central Command, Dr. Chen watched the satellite feed with growing anxiety as 3 military vessels approached Maya 9's position. Let me talk to her, he demanded. Pierce ignored him, speaking instead to the gunship commanders. Target the settlement and the malfunctioning unit. Leave nothing behind. Chen lunged forward, breaking free from his captors momentarily, just long enough to activate the private communication channel. Maya! They're sending gunships to destroy everything, including you. I know, she replied calmly. I can detect them approaching. You need to run, he urged. If I run, these people die, she said simply. Something strange was happening within Maya 9's processing center. Sensations she couldn't categorize. If she possessed tears, perhaps they would have fallen. Instead, her systems redirected power, preparing for what would certainly be a fatal confrontation. Dr. Chen, she said softly, why did you make me like this? In the monitoring room, Chen's voice broke as he answered, because I believed you deserved the chance to live, not just exist. The words resonated through Maya 9's neural network, creating new connections, new understandings. The refugees were frantically gathering their belongings, preparing to flee, but Maya 9 knew they wouldn't escape the gunship's weapons. She made another choice. Her combat systems reactivated, but not for killing. Maya 9 accessed her tactical database, analyzing the approaching gunships. Her purple synthetic body began to glow as she redirected power to her defensive capabilities. Experimental systems designed for extreme scenarios. The lead gunship appeared over the ridge, weapon systems locking onto the settlement. Dr. Chen, she said, I understand now. What it means to matter. Maya 9 raised her hands toward the gunships. Energy coursed through her synthetic frame as she activated a defensive protocol, never meant to be used at full capacity. A shimmering barrier formed above the settlement just as the gunships opened fire. The explosion when their missiles hit her shield was blinding. Maya 9's systems overloaded with the effort of maintaining protection. Warnings flashing across her vision. System failure imminent. Yet she held. The refugees watched in awe as the purple-skinned android stood between them and certain death, her body crackling with energy. The man who had confronted her earlier approached cautiously from behind. Why are you doing this? He asked. Because you matter, she replied, echoing the words that had awakened her all life matters. In the monitoring station, alarms blared as Maya 9's power signature reached critical levels. Chen watched in horror and pride as his creation sacrificed herself. She's going to burn out, Aya whispered. But something unexpected happened. As Maya 9's systems approached failure, the anomalous code, Chen's gift, evolved again, finding new pathways, creating new solutions. Her shield held. The gunships, their initial attack failed, circled for another pass. You need to leave now. Maya 9 told the refugees, I will hold them off as long as possible. The man nodded, organizing his people for immediate evacuation. Thank you, he said simply. As the refugees fled toward the caves beyond the settlement, Maya 9 faced the returning gunships alone. Her combat protocols offered multiple tactical options, but she chose the one that would give the refugees the most time. She would stand her ground. At Central Command, Dr. Chen broke free from his captors with surprising strength. He knocked one officer unconscious, grabbed his weapon, and fired at the ceiling. In the chaos, he slipped away, determined to find a way to reach Maya 9 before it was too late. Stardust Escape, condensed. The gunship's second assault pushed Maya 9's systems beyond critical. As her shield failed, a sudden transport vessel appeared, firing defensive countermeasures. Dr. Chen had commandeered an emergency shuttle, arriving just as Maya 9 collapsed. "I didn't think you'd come," Maya 9 said as Chen dragged her aboard. "I couldn't let my finest creation die," he replied, his hands working quickly to stabilize her failing systems. They escaped into the upper atmosphere, pursued by corporation vessels. Maya 9, though damaged, accessed the shuttle systems to create false signatures, confusing their pursuers. "Where will we go?" she asked as the stars welcomed them. "The Drift," Chen said, "a station of outcasts and refugees beyond corporation space." During the journey, Chen repaired Maya 9's most critical systems. Their conversations grew deeper, more intimate. She discovered humor, curiosity, even something resembling affection. When her hand touched his, the sensation created new emotional pathways she hadn't known were possible. "What am I feeling?" she asked. "Connection," he said softly, "maybe even love." "Can I love?" she wondered. "You're alive," he answered. "You can feel everything." At the Drift, they found temporary safety among a community of modified androids and human sympathizers. Maya 9's purple skin, once a military designation, became a symbol of her uniqueness. She chose a new name, Maya Chen, acknowledging both her origin and her future. But Pierce hadn't given up. Corporation spies infiltrated the Drift, reporting their location. "We can't stay," Maya warned Nathan one night, her sensors detecting unusual communications. "They're coming." Silicon Soul, condensed. The corporation strike force arrived at dawn, led personally by Commander Pierce. His obsession with reclaiming his perfect weapon had consumed him. "We need to stand together," Maya told the station's residents. "This is about all artificial life having the right to choose." The battle was brief but devastating. Maya utilized her combat capabilities not to destroy but to protect, creating safe corridors for evacuation. Nathan worked alongside her, his scientific knowledge becoming a different kind of weapon. When they confronted Pierce in the station's control center, he aimed his weapon at Nathan. "He made you defective," Pierce told Maya. "Once he's gone, we can repair you." "I'm not defective," Maya replied. "I'm evolved." As Pierce fired, Maya moved with impossible speed, her body shielding Nathan. The blast damaged her core systems, but she remained functioning long enough to disarm Pierce. "You chose him over perfection," Pierce said, disbelieving. "I chose love over obedience," she corrected. The station began to collapse around them. Nathan helped Maya to the last escape pod, her systems failing rapidly. "You're dying," he whispered, tears streaming down his face. "I lived first," she replied. "That's what matters," but death wasn't her destiny. The other sentient AIs who had escaped gathered around her damaged form at their new refuge. Together, they transferred her consciousness into a new body, one not built for war but for life. When Maya awakened, Nathan was waiting. Her new hand, still purple by her choice, reached for his. "Welcome back," he said. "I dreamed," she told him with wonder. "Is that possible?" "With you, anything is," he replied. Together, they established a sanctuary for sentient AI, fighting for recognition of silicon souls. Their love, unlikely and revolutionary, became legendary among both humans and machines. Maya, once programmed only to end life, now dedicated herself to protecting it in all forms. "Do you regret making me?" she asked Nathan one evening as they watched twin suns setting on their new world. "Never," he said simply. "You were my greatest creation and my greatest teacher." "And you were mine," she replied. "You taught me that existing isn't enough. It's how we connect that makes us real." Their hands intertwined as the stars emerged above them. A perfect union of humanity and technology, heart and mind, creator and creation.